So I just read the piece TED Talk, Why a Citizen of the World Can Create the Ultimate Empathy Machine.
So this TED Talk is done by Phillip Wudun, who describes a dream he has to show the disconnect from people and each other. He then goes on to talk about how this disconnection is the problem to many of the issues in the world of inaction and humans not coming together to solve problems. At the end, he talks about virtual reality and how that could be a way to create connection. I guess meaning that if there's someone in Asia and someone in Americas, they can establish a connection and later on figure out how to come up with a solution to many of the problems we have today. He also spoke about knowing yourself and knowing your story before being able to solve any issues.
As I was reading it, I felt like, what?
Okay, so after reading the TED Talk, I think what they're saying is that through virtual reality, people can become more global citizens and they become more connected, and it's a different way of being more empathetic and connected with yourself and like with the experience of meeting other people. And I don't agree with that. I don't think virtual reality helps us become more connected. I do see how it's a new way of forming connections and experiencing things and feeling stuff, but I don't think...
Okay, so I think the TED speech starts as with the dream that the speaker has about his reaction to other people and how he felt in the dream world, which is kind of saying the equivalent of virtual reality, except it's not controllable.
I thought the idea was okay. I just didn't like the structure of it, having a story that didn't relate at all to virtual reality, and then at the end just randomly talking about virtual reality.
What was the transition that just didn't exist?
The author revealed more in his title that he's saying the virtual reality device is an empathy machine which can make people feel like get more feelings through this machine and maybe become like a global citizen or something. But
I don't think virtual reality is going to help people become more connected like that. I mean,
it seems to be about how virtual reality is a good way to bridge the gap between people, because virtual reality is a way of communicating stories, and stories are a way of like communicating meaning between people. And I think that's a really cool idea. I think I definitely would agree with parts of it.
It's really important to be a global citizen in today's world, and virtual reality is a way to help connect people and to demonstrate empathy toward other people. And I really agree with this message because I think, especially in today's political climate, it's important to understand people from all over the world. VR is great and can help connect people through technology.
Sure, I get the part saying that we need more active global citizens and members, but I don't really get how we can activate them through the use of virtual reality.
I agree that the author should illustrate more about like how virtual reality can realize this global citizen goal.
The integration of virtual reality as a topic was really sudden, and the idea that it is a game changer in how we can form empathy, I think, is an overestimation possibly, because I agree with the notion that stories matter and that stories are used to, as the author says, dispossess and to malign or to empower and to humanize. So stories have a lot of power, but I don't think that virtual reality in itself is going to change people. It's just another medium, but stories in any form can fulfill that purpose, right?
I think the one thing to consider is that like part of the meaning of stories comes from their interpretability and their ambiguity, and virtual reality is very much like a set reality. In fact, it's a virtual reality, and so when you make a story in virtual reality, you have to be very careful about what aspects of the story you leave ambiguous and what aspects of the story you make concrete, because those are the things that people are going to take away from the story. But I do think that stories are really powerful, and obviously virtual reality is an amazing way to tell stories. You just have to be conscious about what things you're putting into that story and what things you're leaving out.